at the dawn of day. Marie Laveau had passed away in St. Louis Cemetery. She lays in a tomb. She was buried at night on the west of the moon. Oh, Marie Laveau. Oh, Marie Laveau. Hey, Marie Laveau. Hey, Marie Laveau. The folks still believe in the Voodoo Queen. Way down yonder in New Orleans. Way down yonder in New Orleans.
Greetings. This is Voodoo Queen Bloody Mary, Mambo KJ, and Auntie, reaching out from you from inside the homestead of Voodoo Queen Marie Laveau. A Voodoo Seance, a Partere, is about to begin.
Remember, people, we were a Latin Catholic area before we were American, and even through that time trying to maintain our own identity. So we had spiritism and spiritualism that was going on here. But specifically in New Orleans Voodoo is something called partere. Partere means on the ground. So using a white square cloth on the ground with the four corners of candles and offerings is the style that Marie Laveau did. Putting offerings on the table, and we sat around it. So you'll get some videos of that. When I do my other spiritualist or spiritist, it's up on a table, sitting around and holding hands. Now, a misa is usually a white table, kind of like the white cloth, some water, some flowers, some other things across on the table, and a medium / controller on one side and another medium with like an audience, and they all participate too. So we did it a combination, but more old school New Orleans. And many said that what Voodoo Queen Marie Laveau did was Voodoo Seance. And if you don't know who Marie Laveau is, she was born allegedly in this house, the house that used to be here. 1801, died here for sure, 1881. Hello. Cool. Kekila. Kekila. Open the gates, Papa. Open the gates, leg, Pa. In the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, the Marasa, the mysteries, and the more. To all the spirits that are here, to the spirits that can hear that are near, we open the way. I, Bloody Mary, I, La Coco, I, Marie Laveau, I, Regina Estet, I, Nakisi Malango, I, Mary Milan, names that have been known in the past, the names that I'm knowing the now. Call the spirits forth. We open the way. We call the spirits of the south, the spirits of fire. The low is the angels, the winds that are near that can hear. We open the way. We call the spirits of the south, of the fire. Here, you want to do these two? We call the spirits of the west. Oh, could you blow into this? Could you blow into this? I orient ye. And bless Lamb's Almighty. And call all the spirits that are of the west. That was easy. Well, we have to have 4. So this has to work. Right, what happened to it? I call the spirit of fire to come and wake up. I say, open, 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 and rise. Marie, the fire, Marie, open it. So motive me. The spirit of fire, the spirit of the water, spirit of the east. And to the spirit of the east, of the air, below is the angels that are there. And to the spirits of the North, Food Mother, Green Mother that are here, we open the way. The fifth element is God, by day, Grand Master of us all. We ask for the spirits to come today. We ask for the ancestors on our mother's side of the family that have come before, and the ancestors on our father's side of the family have come before, and those not yet born that are still to come ahead to hear our call. We ask for the spirits of place, the spirits that lived here in this building, now known as 1022 St. Anne, 9030 longitude and latitude, New Orleans, French Quarter, the home, the cottage of Laveau, the cottage of Christophe Clapion. Call upon Marie Catherine Laveau. We call upon Catherine. We call upon Marguerite Laveau, her mother. We call upon all the children. We call Marie Philomé and all the others that we know their names and don't know their names that have come here. Those that were born and those that died here. Those that have something to say to help us connect and write the truth about her today. We call you forth. We call especially upon Marie Laveau, Voodoo Queen Marie Laveau, Marie Catherine Laveau, her mother and her mother's mother, and her line that has come before and that has come since. And all those that are queens that walked in her footsteps, that worked with her throughout all of our town, known as New Orleans, New Orleans. We call upon you to open the way. We're gonna have to try to, I think I'm staying on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Officially, seances were danced in Voodoo. So we gotta hold hands, and that includes touching her foot over here, just for a few, and then pulse all the way so we bring the energy around and around and around. Enough stretching for today. All right, so let's just be still and see who wants to come through on their own. Who is the most present in this house that has something to say? I ask for the guardian. I ask for the spirit guide. I ask for the helper on the other side. I call forth the gatekeeper, the guide, the butler, if you will, to open the way. I just got, which is what I wish I can do physically, I just got big, huge wind blowing through those two French doors, or where the mirror is now. So a very aggressive entry, which is fine by me. To the spirits of the winds and the hurricane, of course, which is part of the spirit of place in New Orleans, we open the way.
I feel, even as we were connecting, the sense of an energy that swoops in this way, moves out and moves out to the front step, and it feels like a very large dragon-like creature sits on the right stoop, not the left.
Which one is that? This one or the next part?
What do you mean?
The double, you're talking about the other side?
This side.
This side.
It sits on the, specifically it's saying it sits on the right hand.
As you're
where
looking at the
taffy-
building. That's probably the mother energy, to do with gator, to do with dragon kind of thing. I'm of the spirit of place, is what I meant. Like a bigger version of
the butler, so to speak.
Le Grand Crocodile. You're seeing him up there. This is where I'm
No,
going
it came this way.
Oh, it's
and
swirled.
then it went boom right there.
Well, that's
It
today's
wants to be
entrance.
out.
Yes,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Hello, thank you. Bring those that need to come through. Open the way today. What do you have to show? Please let me know. Let us know.
I immediately feel children gathering. And it's kind of like they feel like they become the eggs, and that the spirit that I just saw, it's kind of like it's very protective of these young children, a lot of them.
Well, there was at least 5 generations of Laveaus that were born and died in this house, including her. And of course, many people since then. Tequila, bonjour. We open the way. We ask you to bring messages through us today so that we'll know. I'm kind of seeing like a veve that's looking a little bit like La Serene. So like a Mammy Water, as in that, not a picture of a mermaid, but that one that's more like a shield. Hey, it's La Serene at the door. You're dragging her mermaid-esque type thing.
Good point. Good point, because it has that green hue to it.
And it's Saint Martha stepping on the dragon that they say is, La Serene, so that makes sense. We call upon all the saints. We call on Papa Laba. We call upon Dani. We call upon Le Grand Zombie. Yolali, Le Grand Zombie, which is also that reptilian, which we have behind you now. The snake that hangs, who I want to put up here, but I have to wait.
There's something floating, and I'm just asking it come down. What does it say?
Looked like you were doing that Pope thing.
Pope?
The Pope.
Oh.
Who puts 2 fingers up and
I've
does
never
that.
Seen it.
Oh, he's always safe, but no. We would like to visit you here. We cannot visit you at the tomb any longer. We visit you through the altars all around, but can we visit you here? The stories you have to share from this location, from this earth, from where we sit, from where we stand. We call up from the earth the memories that live within. Bring them through. Bring them through.
There is such strong swamp energy here. So wild, so raw. And I feel like it's just like right under this house. It's like right in here.
Well, that's where I'm going to be writing my swamp magic version of New Orleans Voodoo, the raw original one. So that's Swamp Magic, Swamp Monsters is kind of the working title with New Orleans Voodoo.
Well,
Marie Laveau, so.
Dragon, Naniwata. It's wild.
I think the term that I'm seeing from the alligator that I'm seeing underneath is smart aleck. He gave me a little wink, like a very, like a trickstery kind of like smart aleck kind of thing, but in a happy, pleasant way to be noticed, to be woken, to be remembered.
Strong in the feminine, though.
And call upon all of the energies that are here.
So someone's tapping me on the shoulder, and she's wearing like maybe a calico headscarf. See if she has something to say.
The typical blue and white kind?
No, just kind of multicolored.
Okay.
She looks maybe in 20s or 20s.
It's funny now when you say that. I see her looking like the Marie Laveau little Barbie doll like one that I have in the case at the museum. Tall, thin, black ringlets in her hair.
I am Marie, but I am not the Marie.
Hello, Marie. Bonjour.
We are glad that you are here. We are glad that you want to speak to us. We have much to say. So many have come before, but they do not have good intentions. So we are glad that you are here. We are happy that you are here. You want to know us.
Please trust us.
We do. We do. We follow you. We know you. We connect with you. We have seen you and felt you outside our door. We were hoping you would come in.
Thank you for letting it work and finding the money. And I hope to bring all the right people here to channel the different nuances that you have to say so that we can bring the right ones in to connect for this. Ashe.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is there an offering that I should bring that I do not have? We're slowly but surely still bringing things in. This is...
We like flowers.
I will bring more. And we're going to try to grow more.
And all you bring is always accepted, always great. So much has been lost over time. So many practices, so many cures. We hope to share these with you. We know you're open to this. We know you're ready, you're willing. So relieved that one with a good spirit, a curious spirit, a kind spirit is finally here.
May I ask you, did you know my family?
I see them remotely. I personally did not know them.
Well, they lived across the street. So I was just wondering. Mimi.
I believe I was before them.
It is possible. Just curious.
Others are here to speak. They have so much to say too.
I'm seeing lots of symbols, and a lot has to do with like a beautiful dragon of gold that is kind of like framing, or maybe a doorway that people are coming through is grand, fancy. Wish I could join.
I get feeling
What should I grow here?
lavender purple smoke, and it just keeps billowing. It started slowly and then it's just filling and then it ebbs and it flows, but it's a smoke that I have never seen before. I do think you need something purple here, but I don't know what it is. Maybe perhaps an amethyst, but it needs to be a particular color
Okay.
of purple.
Is there something with the new people that are coming in that they would like me to grow here that would help with the magical practices, gree-grees that I'll make and such? Something purple like she sees. Can we clarify? I can, of course, get an amethyst.
It's like I see plants, but I don't know what they are. Me personally.
It's okay. I'm going to grow what I can. I've got some herbs back there. I got the datura, but something that would invite the spirits in.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers are sometimes rough if there's not much sun.
Mm-hmm. It seems like any kind of greenery, any kind of herbs, they're very, very open to that. They want that.
Who else is here? Is there another name, or are they all Marie's? For I know there are more than the Trinity. What about Marie's older grandma? Another Marie. Who is number one? Marie Catherine, are you here? Or should it be Marie Trudeau Laveau? Feeling rather heady. I was fully cold spotted a moment before when the other Marie was here. Are there any concerns about being here that we should address so that the work can be smooth?
Is there something like dark under here? Are you picking up on anything like under the ground in this area? Something?
Well, I don't know if there is, but I do have a... if it was there for protection, if it was there for something that was very long ago, I don't know. But I'm going to be doing stuff in the earth below.
Because I'm almost picturing like this black cauldron or pot like in the ground under here. And maybe it's just a real artifact or something, but
Yeah.
not quite sure if it's positive or negative.
It's just strong.
Is the base brick?
Sort of. Yes. There's piers.
Okay, brick piers.
1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Okay. It looked first like a corner to me. It feels like that back corner. I don't know if it's brick. I can't remember what the building back there is. But there's a corner. Pay attention to the corners where the bricks come together. Check the fireplaces.
I'm definitely going to the fireplaces first.
Have you been to them? Where are they? Okay, so they're bricked in. Oh, but you go. I'm hearing there's some. Just to pay attention there. Like you're looking.
I'm going to go put something in there. I'm going to pull out old bottles, old things, go over them, and then I'm going to
You're
put
also
something
looking to, they're saying.
But, something historic, something interesting, something to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put something under the house long ago for protection that could still be here? To the women that came, the ladies that came. Is there something I need to... It's interesting. Well, this came with our Baron. My Baron Semity card was in this book and fell out. I was like, oh, where did this come from?
Oh.
Earlier I felt the energy of a lot of Native American.
Well, that's okay.
More forward in the ground.
As far as historical?
Just like the
There
bones
was,
of.
oh, bones of.
Yeah.
There were a lot of Native Americans that camped out and stayed here.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the house is built up closer to the road than it originally was.
Yeah, that's what I said when we first came in.
I didn't hear you say that.
It was right, like where the sofa is, would have been where the front of the house was and the entrance would have been over here.
Okay. Yeah.
At least 6 to 8 feet from the sidewalk.
Yeah, I'm
So a
seeing
little bit
greenery out there. Okay. That's where I was feeling.
Before that, of course, swamp. And whether they gave her an American, a bone for protection to put there, I don't know if this would have been an official burial ground, but Congo Square's right there. Cemetery was over there, one more block. But the fact that so many dead babies pop up everywhere because there were so many dead babies. There was always the talk that she had a baby skeleton clinging to her armoire, which had been about right here. And working with the midwives. This got really high just now. What about you?
Yeah, you want to keep your eye on what's going on along this central line. Yeah.
This was a Creole cottage directly on the ground. No old raised houses, clapboard covered.
What was the flooring in a Creole cottage back then? Earth?
No. Floor on earth, wood. All houses pretty much wood. But,
Yeah.
if it would have been 2-story, the ground floor would have been mud and walk through. That was the normal thing. But it was a wooden shack. But, possibility of clapboard underneath, but. What is the main message that you have to say today? The fact that we know that there are many, many to speak. We listen to all of you. Is the Marie that was here the first, that came through me and came through her, are you the spokesperson? Are you the main spokesperson? Are you the channel?
She kind of laughed and said, no, but I like to talk.
Well, there's some that are more upfront than others, some that are able to pass messages on, some that speak English more. Are you the controller? Or is that the dragon? We would like to connect with you regularly with different sitters though you will see us and me most in all of them. She was local. She's part local. Marie, do you like the doll? Now, I've seen Marie jump in that doll and jump out, and she's been at many rituals and dance with me, and she's done hurricane rituals with me. I thought she might like being here. Yeah. I wonder if, not yet. What's today? April. Okay, not yet. Thelma Rana Trust Claire, are you here? Can you hear? That's my grandmother that was born across the way. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to block you.
No, it's okay. I feel like the girl that's speaking, the Marie that's speaking, is in service to what she considers to be a royal lineage. Like not that she's not part of it, but she looks up to them so much. Does that feel right to you, Karen? Like she just wants to honor and revere this other energy that just feels like it's just kind of back in the wings waiting.
Do you have,
Feels right.
Marie, little Marie, did you have a curtain? Did you have your curtain? Go away. Started right when I was going to say that. Bark, bark, bark.
That's the loyalty of the pack, right?
First time I've heard him.
Yeah.
And we hear the beat of the drum from yesteryear coming from Congo Square. Let it bring all of you back, and let it bring all of you back from over there. From here we are, we call you back, we call you through. We would like to share the knowledge that you want us to revive the spirit of the swamp that is underneath for its creative flow, to recreate and work together with that ebb and flow. Yolali mamzamari, yolali, lebranzambi, yolali, mamanu.
I don't know exactly how to describe what I'm going to describe, but
Draw it.
it's not like that.
Okay.
It's everything that I have sensed, and the way I didn't even realize the way I was hearing and receiving what was coming. I felt it all facing that way because that's maybe the orientation that I am.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's this other energy that I feel that faces this way, and it's a little bit masculine. It's connected to the Yucatan, and it's and the sun, and I feel like it's something that someone in this house worked with, and it feels like it's back, and it sits back, and it faces that way, and it was kind of like when they worked this way out to the community, but this was a source of power that was back. It faces that way. Well, the Yucatan's just like across the bay from here. It's like a 30-minute plane flight.
Wow.
I guess. I just don't think of it. I think of the Gulf. I think of the...
Yeah.
I didn't
I don't
realize.
think
Yeah.
So it's not the Gulf, it's deeper. It's the Yucatan. It's not the Caribbean. It's not...
No, because the Caribbean would be hands closer.
Really? Because we never addressed that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's,
But we're called the gateway to the Caribbean as a port town.
right.
That's how we're described. They don't
But when
usually
you say-
use the word Yucatan.
I never thought of it, but yeah, it's
It's
right
like
there.
the natives.
I
went
always
back
say
and
that
forth.
they came that way, yes.
Yeah, Mayan and Aztec. It's in the Yucatan.
Our Native American Indian had more of that background than it did, anything from the north.
Yeah, of course. So it's like that. So it's in someone's bloodline lineage, and it's like a solar energy, but it's the spirit of the thing, whoever worked this. The deity is kind of like blue looking. Maybe it's a blue stone god with a solar disc behind him. It has masculine energy. Yeah, so it's just part of a kind of silent power that someone worked here, but it's still definitely here, and it's like here and from here back. Yeah.
I mean, right before you said that, I was going to say, you're talking about this. I said, but that snakeskin's right behind you. So Le Grand Zombie, which would have been more of the male, was right when I was thinking, oh shoot, we're forgetting that that's there. You start talking about the solar masculine or whatever behind you.
Yeah, and one of their main gods was Quetzalcoatl.
Right.
The feathered serpent, right? That lineage is here.
Wow. That's funny, I never think of that.
Well, I always think about the Mayan. I just never use the word Yucatan.
Yeah.
Because the Gulf is in front.
Yeah,
her husband, her second husband, was Glapion. I'd like to address Christophe Glapion in the house. I don't exactly know his blood. I thought it was French. Then you've got, she has some form of Native American Indian blood in her. What tribe, what place? Oh, and so the male, I remember you were telling me about something big that was coming, when we did a personal reading.
Right.
And then you said something about pulling in this male energy that you're not used to working with.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if you think,
Yeah,
that we're
interesting.
doing that's part of this, which would make sense that she was using. So that brings another person, would be James Alexander, but his real name, I'm forgetting it right this minute.
Who was he?
Dr. Jim.
Oh.
Jim Alexander. Indian Jim. We welcome and honor all the spirits that are around, and we'll address the sun if that is done. Now, there was always that room that everybody said she did her dark magic in, because there were no.
This is connected to that, even though it's solar. It's
right. I mean, it wasn't. That's just because they had no Catholic saints in the room. That's why they said outsiders.
The indigenous, the more.
Yeah, and I tried to research this, and this is where it only had a statue of a lion, a tiger, and a bear.
The Dr. Jim.
No,
this is more of that shamanic earth. He
worked with the alligator like I did.
He gets down and gritty. I could feel that. It's like in the shadow. He did his work at night. It's like, it's not wrong, but people, even today, people would be like, ooh, scary. You know what I mean? It's real power as opposed to, I almost feel like that's the real power.
Well, I've always been a Dr. Jim fan. Not a Dr. John fan.
Dr. John's a musician.
No.
That's right, there is a Dr.
Dr. John, the voodoo doctor of contemporary of Marie Laveau.
Dr.
That
Jim.
people gave too much. No, Dr. John is the one that was also contemporary of Marie Laveau and Dr. Jim. Dr. John got all the publicity, but he really didn't have. I know the other one is
Dr.
the one
Jim.
with the power.
Yeah. That one.
He was the true king.
The one we're talking about.
The true king stand up, step forward, and
very potent is what I'm hearing.
Oh, there was also. I think I'm on it now because I'm freezing. Old Saul, Saul, S-O-L, the guy's name, S-O-L.
Saul means
son. Yeah.
Who's
he worked for her. He did all her dirty work, and I don't mean dirty work. I mean, he dried the lizards and powdered them up. He made all the powders and did all the bones. He did all the hands-on dirty work, not dirty work. He did they said and he knew everything. He knew a lot. The only reason he wasn't a king or left because she paid him well. And I'm freezing on that with cold spots all over. Old Saul. I mean, I'm saying it right. Old Saul. S-O-L.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't want to say old soul. It's like old Saul. And they said he was a dark complected African man who was just busy. He just did all those blending. He was a true power source behind her.
And I feel like Dr. Jim was too.
And Dr. Jim was more of a front. He was contemporary. He did rituals. And he had a full-grown alligator as a pet that he'd have in the center. He's my favorite. When he did circle and calling, and he did ghost hunting and clearing houses. I mean, he did a lot of things that I do.
In the 1800s.
Yeah. He did the beer trick. Brought beer, slushed it all around, got him drunk, got him the hell out. I address all of those. I would love to talk to all of you. I want to write about all of you in the true way. And I'm seeing flowers growing and blooming. Little tiny ones from a vine. Like long vine, little tiny ones.
What color?
White. Got crooked. Should we do a session of writing before we close? Drawing, writing. I know that's your usual thing, but you were good channeling today.
Lilac.
I think we have both.
Lilac is
A tree.
Yeah, it grows like a bush, like a tree. It's not
Okay.
It's like in the blossoms.
They're big,
cluster.
Cluster.
Yeah.
I know what they are.
But they only bloom, like in the spring.
What's that?
Easter.
What's that?
It can be very
I
purple.
wonder if it's wisteria that you're visualizing, because it's so here.
I feel yes, but I also see it's like the lilac looks like it's connected to the purple smoke, even though it's much lighter. And what I'm hearing is it's for remembrances of the past. But wisteria would be the same, right? It is such a powerful vine that can grow really. I've seen it grow around here.
Go look at it they've got it on all these trellises and canopies it's just a lilac.
It is so strong that it will, it'll break a building apart.
Wow.
Well, that's true for a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right. I close my eyes and I'm seeing the castle. Like this is looked at as a castle at a fortress. Which is kind of funny because it's wood. But I mean, I saw it with a big round top. Maybe that's the moat and the dragon out there. Like there's a protector. Protection here.
There is
I guess it has to be with all those people out there.
Royalty here.
I invite the spirits to come and talk. Open the. Oh yeah. Do we want to write? Okay. Do we want to write separate or do we want to write together?
How would we write together?
Oh, it's that thing I do, the game that I write a couple paragraphs and then until I stop and then I give you one or two words and you go from there.
Oh,
and then you go to her and she goes from there. We don't look at the others until it's done and then it's one complete thing.
Wow.
Oh God. What's your spirit guide's name?
Abba.
Abba just jumped like a little kid.
Oh, really?
Like I'm gonna do everything like.
Oh, yeah?
And I always thought he was more conservative.
Yeah, me too.
And it was like, he
Sure,
just liked that idea. It was just kind of funny.
Like it.
Yeah, it was funny.
Let's do it.
Then we have to do that with your book. So I'm glad you brought your book because I have to fold it down and we take. Bonjour, Marie and friends. We really would like to connect with you. How can we help ease the way for us to dance? I feel movement and food will help make this true. Is that correct? The correct way to connect with us is through the bones. The bones and the ancestors, yours and ours, contain a frequency. When you feel your own frequency, which is animated by spirit within your marrow, then you will feel this frequency travel along the long bones in your own body. Feeling this within self allows you to feel us and us to feel you. We find each other this way. Wayward souls gather with similar needs to learn the way to freedom, the way to peace, the way to life, the way, the why, the how to survive. Continue the way to heal, the way to love, the way to live. This is the purpose of all of us, past, present, and future, and a sparkle of love and laughter. The way to dance and sing, pray, and bring life to the group and the individuals. We are all one. We are all the way to the end purpose of fulfillment, of oneness all together. The way is all. The way is one. The way is separate and together. The dance, the song, the light, the dark is all the way to all aspects of existence. Accept all, absorb all, observe all, because it's all the way home. Now, what is this third ear who is listening from afar? It is the way it is supposed to be, but we must call stronger so they may hear and come near. We do welcome you and beckon you. We are the group that calls with love. We want you to come closer and bend. Bend, but do not break. There is much to learn, but do not be afraid of this. No fear. You'll be given the appropriate lessons and messages of the appropriate times. All things are timed perfectly. This is why no one has to worry, no worries. Let things be the way they are. They are timed perfectly. Even those things that seem to be so disastrous and so wrong. Therefore live, and we breathe, and know that all is happening at the perfect time, building to the proper purpose. So no worries, no fears. All is and was always well. And that well is deep in this place. The container is as deep as it is high. It is filled with lunar energy, like a great moonstone, a huge container. This place is a well, and it is pierced by the rays of the sun. Through the middle, top to bottom, a giant gateway is open and activated.